Now, good evening. Oh. I chose to do this at this hour. I hope everybody is asleep because I'm going to do this quietly, codedly, and go to bed. Are you asleep? Thank you. You will see it in the morning when you wake up. And I'll be tagging some of you who had said they would want to be a part of it. They never sleep. One person don't show. Why you never sleep now? Okay, let me make it very quick so that we don't waste time. I made a post about my late boss and friend and sister Gina Daka Osika. Gina's funny self. Gina, well, that was what we used to call her. Gina was a great woman. She was my boss. And we enjoyed a lot of friendship. She was my boss. We're not, anybody who knows Gina knows that she's not somebody who carries herself, who looks down. She was not. She's late. May her soul continue to rest in peace. She was not somebody who looked down on others. She had friends across all strata. And she liked me. She liked everything I do. She was one of those who used to encourage me to run for office in NUJ. And I did. We did a lot of things together. So, to cut to the chase, in 2019, I was in Port Harcourt to deliver a training. That training is sponsored by the Norwegian Union of Journalists. I'm one of the 2 trainers in Nigeria, and we go across the country to train journalists on safety and gender issues. Thankfully, the journey took me to Port Harcourt in 2019. As I was going to Port Harcourt, and like I do with every state we've gone for this training, I tried to link up with those I know in the states. But Port Harcourt was different because I have a large family in Port Harcourt. I have extended family in Port Harcourt. I have friends in Port Harcourt, and I didn't even know where to start from. So I just told my training partner, Madam Veronica Ogbole, that you see this Port Harcourt we are going, I'm going silently because I don't even know how I'm going to divide myself. Port Harcourt is a big place, and I have cousins, second cousins, first cousins, a brother. I have friends, so there's no way I'm going to be able to see all of them. So I'll just go in, do my work, and come out. And that was what I tried to do. On the second day of the training, late Gina came to the press center where the event was holding. And she was in shock. Rafat, you are in Port Harcourt, you didn't call me? How could you be in Port Harcourt and you not call me? I tried to explain. I explained, jail. I apologized. She said, now, tell me, Rafat, where are you quartered? Don't tell me you are in a hotel. I lied. I said I was with one of my cousins. Truly, I was in a hotel. I said I was with one of my cousins. She said, you are with one of your cousins? I said, yes. And you chose your cousin over me? I said, no, it's not like that. I tried to reach you. All the normal lies. Well, she was, in her own way, Gina just mellowed and said, I'm going to take you out for lunch then. The lunch turned to dinner because we finished our program by 5 o'clock. So myself and my training partner, Madam Veronica Ogbole, went with her for the early dinner. So as we sat and ordered our food, it was an opportunity for me to tell her things I ought to have told her. As we waited for our meals to arrive, I said, Gina, I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the things you have done for me. She said, why are you sounding serious? Why are you sounding like you are... Abeg, come on, Joe. Why are you sounding like we are doing something serious? I said, no, Gina, this is serious. I'm actually being serious. And I want you to take it seriously. I'm thanking you because, but for you, I probably would not have left my husband. I still would have been there. And we don't know what will have happened. But because of your intervention, I summoned courage and left when I did. She said she couldn't remember, that I should not even bring her onto the conversation, that she remembered doing that. I said, no, Gina, I'm going to remind you that in 2007, that I met her in 2019. I'm going to remind you that in 2007, you told me things that made me decide that I have to leave my husband's house. Madam Veronica Obole was there and she was like, what's going on? I said, no, madam, you can't understand. But since Gina can't remember, let me remind her. So I told her the story. If you don't mind, I will repeat the story as I told her in the presence of Madam Veronica Obole. That was in 2019. Shortly after then, I think about a month or 2 months, shortly after then, we lost Gina to death. So my joy was I had the opportunity to tell her what was on my mind, how I felt about her. I had the privilege. So please, if anybody has done anything good to you or anything, please, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Let them know. Let them know that they have, impacted on you. So the story is like this. If you have been following Ahmed's video that I have been broadcasting, I told you it was stranger than fiction. A lot of things were happening that we could not explain. We couldn't explain the things that were happening. They were beyond explanation. I have videos and I'm continuing tomorrow. But in this particular instance, my office is in a broadcasting house in Ikoyi. The newsroom is on the ground floor. I was going into the newsroom. I came in from the entrance. I was going to the newsroom. And Gina was leaving the newsroom. She was going to the bathroom. Ugoma Koki and anybody who knows Gina knows that unless Gina is super pressed, she will not get up to go to the bathroom. So she was wriggling. She was wriggling and running to the toilet. Then we met. When we met, she passed me. I just greeted her casually. Hi, Gina. Then she said, no, Rafat, come. Rafat, come. There's something I must tell you. Rafat, come. I said, what is it? Go and come back. I said, no. I'm asked not to go and come back. They say I must tell you now. So what is it, Gina? So I waited for her in the foyer. She went to the bathroom and came out. She now held my hand. She said, Rafat, I'm sorry about what I'm going to tell you. I don't know what is going on with you. I don't discuss my personal life with Gina because Gina, she's my boss. She's up there. So she's not somebody I can just walk up to and start discussing those things with. But she's very friendly. She was my friend and boss and supervisor. Gina said, Rafat, I'm not the person that will carry church for head. I say, yes, they carry church for head. You say, I drink. I say, I know you drink. Say, but what I'm going to tell you, I was not, I didn't get it, I didn't drink the day I got the information I'm giving you. I said, Gina, you are scaring me. What do you want to tell me? He said, no, please, let me finish. I didn't drink, and this info has come to me twice. That is why I say I must tell you. And in fact, as you passed me now, it was as if I was dragged and told that, see, Rafat, deliver the message to her. That's okay. Enough of the preamble. Tell me what you want to tell me. I want to go to the newsroom. She said, Rafat, I was in my house. I wasn't on my bed. I wasn't sleeping, actually. I was on the couch when someone came in and told me that I should tell you, Rafat, to leave your husband's house. So I started laughing. He said, you think it's funny? I said, no, I'm just surprised. She said, even she's surprised. And that was the second time she was being told within a week. Rafat, I wasn't sleeping, so I'm not dreaming. It was not a dream. Each time I was told, I will shake and get up. But it has happened twice. And as I passed you now, somebody actually pulled me and told me to tell you. That is what I'm telling you. I said, you were told to ask me to leave my husband's house. He said, yes, okay. But you're actually not the first person to tell me that. 2 other persons have told me the same thing, but I don't take them seriously. She said, who? I said, Collins Atohengbe and Madam Funke. Madam Funke called me at the car park, no, in the newsroom, and said, Rafat, I've been asked to ask you to tell you to leave that house. I said, who? She said she doesn't know. But each time I go to sleep, I am told, tell Rafat to leave that house. If not, something will happen that she will not be able to recover from. Then one day I was by the car park. Mr. Collins Atohengbe called me again and said, Rafat, do you know I had a dream? Why are you still in that house? Why can't you leave? I said, so Gina, you are the third person that is telling me. Gina said, no way. She looked for the two of them and they all corroborated. And it was Gina's message that made me to pick my call, to pick my phone 2 days later and tell my husband and tell my father, my late father, may Allah rest his soul peacefully, that I was going to leave my husband. That it was time. Before Gina's message came, and the message from Collins and Funke Atohengbe, before the messages came, I lived in a house. I lived on the 2nd floor of my husband's house. Yes, my ex-husband was he's still a man of means. In one of his houses, I was in one of his houses in Agungi, in Lagos. And I was on the 2nd floor. I was alone on the 2nd floor. When you climb the staircase, there is a burglary proof, which I lock every night and hold the key. Then you walk through, past a corridor before you enter my flat. Do you know, when I open the door in the morning to come out, I will see 3 things wrapped like key, like paper, wrapped in 3 different colors in front of the door. One is black, one is yellow, one is red. I won't come out. I'll shut the door back. Then I'll go through the kitchen window and call the security. His name is Audu. Audu, he will come. Yeah, Mama. I'll say, Audu, did anybody come into this house? Audu said, no, nobody came in. I said, do you know that there is something in front of my door? He said he's coming. So he ran up the staircase, but he was unable to open the burglary because I locked it and the key was with me. He said, Mama, Uncle Leko Fafa. I say, yes, the door is locked, but there is something in front of my house. One is black, one is red, one is yellow. So he now went downstairs and asked me to throw him the key. So I threw the key to him from the window, from the kitchen window. I threw it down. He picked it, came back upstairs, opened the padlock, and had access to where the things were. Then he now used broom, swept them, and went to burn them. That happened at least 3 times. Apart from all the attacks I was receiving, that my house, like I told you, my house will be full of people. I know people are in the house. I can feel movement. Doors will be opening and shutting, but I can't see anybody. The only thing I keep saying is, Ya Allah, only you have power over life and death. Any other thing is wasting its time. I'll go and sleep. By 4 a.m., the house will be clear. It's strange, but it happened. It's my story. And I'm comfortable talking about this story as we were commemorating the posthumous birthday of Gina. I remembered that I had the opportunity of thanking her in 2019. Probably if she was somebody who was utterly religious, I may not have taken her seriously. If she was somebody who was, you know, if she was I may not have even taken her seriously. You see, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to help you, the messages will come from everywhere. Gina gave me that message with her mouth, and 2 other persons had given me similar messages. But Gina was not somebody I discussed my family problems with. So Gina was not aware that I had issues with my ex-husband. That was why I mentioned it, that I need to talk about it. For us who are Muslims, we are in the month of Hijrah. We just started. And if you do not know, I present a program on Human Rights Radio every Friday in Abuja. I present a program on Human Rights Radio. And the topic we discussed yesterday with my Imam Salah, Abdul Hamid Salah, last week we started actually discussing Hijrah with, I think it's Albani. Yeah. What's his name again? That Ustaz. Hamdani. We discussed Hijrah. And both of them say Hijrah is migration. You live where you are being oppressed. If you are being oppressed, you don't feel safe. Leave that place. Migrate to another place. It's migration. You are a woman. I was suffering. I was suffering. I was prepared. You know, the conversation I had with my ex-husband was, he like I told you, he's a man of means. You have houses everywhere. If at this house I live in, that house, his house that I lived in at that time, was one of the least of his houses. I was staying in a 2-bedroom. It was one of the least. I told him, I said, you know what? We can agree on divorce, but I want to remain in the house because I need that social security to raise my 3 children. I was prepared to live like that. I had no plans of leaving. But when I started seeing, that is apart from, there were so many other things, but these were the ones I saw physically. The charms that were dropped in front of my house, red, black, and yellow, at least on 3 different occasions, we saw them. And how do we pack them and burn them? So if Gina had not told me that she had a message that I should leave wherever I am and move, I probably would have remained there and there would have been consequences, because I was emotionally distraught anyway. I mean, who wakes up in the morning, you live alone, you are on the 2nd floor, you are not on the 1st floor, you are not on the ground floor, you are not on the 1st floor, you are on the 2nd floor, and there are burglary proofs. Nobody can have access to you except they break it down, and yet you open your door and there are charms in front of your door. Emotionally, you'll be destabilized. That's number one. Within that same period, I had problems with cockroaches. Cockroach. Cockroach. Not in the house, not anywhere, but in my car. When I drive from my house, anybody who knows Lagos knows where Agungi is. I drive from my house, I'm going to Broadcasting House in Ikoyi. By the time I get to law school, the entire car will be full of cockroaches. As in, they are everywhere. Crawling. In fact, I can't even do anything because they are on my legs. Every part of my body, there will be cockroach. Then I'll park my car and run out of the car. By the time people come, what is it now? Say cockroach, cockroach, cockroach. They won't see anything. My brother is the one I always discuss with. My brother said, hey, it has to be, there is a scientific explanation. When you take your car, by the time you get to law school, it has heated up, then all the cockroaches hiding in the corners will crawl out. So what you should do, take your car to car wash. I said, okay. I took the car to car wash. They stripped the car. I bought camphor, put everywhere in the car. In fact, when I come out, my body will be smelling of camphor. It didn't stop it. Then I now bought sniper. We now put it in the car. Guess what happened? I went for an event in I think it's Ikeja Hotel. I went for an event and cockroaches were streaming from my hair. One woman said, Madam, there's cockroach. She removed it. Another one came out from my scarf. Before you know it, 4 cockroaches came out of my head. I ran out to the toilet. So before I go out, I will remove my scarf. I'll put insecticide on it. Cockroaches. one day, I kept my bag on the table and cockroaches were streaming out. I mean, because I have a son called Ahmed. All this because I bore a child called Ahmed. Is my story. So, as women, let's be supporting each other. I thank God that Gina, God sent Gina to me and asked me to leave. God sent Funke Atohengbe to me, who told me to leave. God sent Collins Atohengbe to me, who asked me to leave. At different times, they received the messages at different times. Gina's own was the last message, and 2 days later, I put a call to my father and told Baba, I want to leave my husband. And my father was quiet. I called him around at 6 a.m. That's not the time we normally speak. So he was quiet. I said, Baba. Then he called me back. He said, are you sure? I said, yes. Do you know what my father said? He said, Alhamdulillah, thank you. I have been wanting you to leave, but I'm afraid of you. You know, you and your right, and nobody can make me do things. That day, my father said, I'm going to the bank. I will send you money. I said, Baba, don't worry. I actually have been saving up for it. I just didn't want to leave, but I've been saving up for it. I have money. Within 3 weeks, I left the house. Today, I'm grateful I did. I wish it didn't happen, but I'm grateful I did. That's why I said, let me speak out and encourage you. You know, there was a day, one woman, she has a child with special needs. She's in Abuja here. She called me and said she wants to divorce her husband. I said, why? She said, no, I want to divorce my husband. My husband, she had a million complaints against her husband. Her husband is this, her husband is that. She wants to leave her husband. She wants to leave her husband. I said, but why? She said, you inspire me. You are single, you have a child with special needs, you have other children, and you are doing so well. Then I started laughing. So I asked her to come and see me. She came. She went on and on. My husband this, my husband that, my husband this. I laughed. Then I went to visit her. I told her, if you leave your husband, you will suffer. If you leave this man, you will suffer. Your husband is a good man. You think that I'm single, I have a child with disability. My job is a glamorous job. So you would think, once I rub powder and wear dress, you would think I'm living a very good life. I am not. Do you want me to tell you how I am living? I gave her a peep, a very small peep into my life. 2 weeks later, she and her husband came to thank me, and they are still together. I'm not advising you, don't leave your husband. Don't divorce. Stay and weather it. But understand one thing. If it comes to it, do not be afraid. God is great. He will lead you and help you. For Muslims, we know the story of Zamzam. How did Zamzam come about? Is it not a mother, a pregnant woman that was taken away because of issues and was taken there, was hidden to Mecca, in Mecca, that brought out Zamzam? You think God will abandon a mother? God will never leave a mother. Be nice to your husband. Pray for your husband. When the devil wants to attack the family, the first thing he does is remove the father figure. Remove the father figure. I saw Ufoma Bernard on his Facebook page. He says 71% of those in American prison, of children in American prison, are from single mothers. When the devil wants to attack the family unit, he removes the father. There is a reason behind it. Once the father is out of the picture, you, the mother, you are emotionally distraught. You want your marriage back. You want your husband back. And you are tempted to run after him. Don't run after him. Those who want him are not going to kill him. They are not going to hurt him. They love him. That's why they want him. Allow them to take him. Focus on your children. Otherwise, you will lose at both ends. May we never lose at both ends. Focus on your children. Understand that the only reason why there is a problem with the father is because there is a focus on the children. There's a focus, and you will lose them if you keep running after him. Don't run after him. Let him go. Wish him well. They love him. They will take care of him. Nothing will happen to him. But if you don't stay and take care of your children, something will happen to them. May Allah have mercy on all of us. Again, I'm commemorating the posthumous birthday of Gina Sonicel Epade, and I pray that God continues to rest her soul. May God continue to grant her peace. And I want to also use the opportunity to thank God Almighty for using her as an instrument. I probably will not be alive today. Who knows? Or I'll be alive and I won't be how I'm supposed to be, or have the ability to interact like this. Thank you very much for staying. Thank you for joining. I'll be signing out now. Remember, we still have a video I've not done. I'll be telling Ahmed's story. Ahmed will be 20 this year, and I'll be telling his story. And the last place we stopped was our stay at Mercy Street Children's Hospital. We'll continue tomorrow by God's grace. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the partnership. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the followership. If I have erred, if I say something that is not clear, please drop it in the comment section. If there's anything you want me to clarify, please drop it in the comment section. Yes, thank you. I'm a superwoman. God makes super people. Leave that matter. I don't feel it. And I pray you don't have to be a superwoman. Sometimes you just don't want to be, because it's exhausting. It's tiring. It's exhausting. We must consistently give thanks to Almighty God. Never lose hope in the mercy of God, because only what God has destined will come to pass. Only what God has destined. Try and live your life like this. What I always said when I was married to him was that I encouraged him, because he's a man of means. So every woman wants to be his wife. Me, did I not like him? I want to be his wife. I encouraged him to marry more wives. I said, marry. You're allowed to marry 4. Don't stay with only me. Marry. I don't have a problem with it. So I keep telling myself, Ya Allah, I have never, even by word or action, stopped this man from marrying another wife. I have never. If I know you are his girlfriend, you become my friend. I don't care. Wherever the attacks are coming from, Ya Allah, save me and save my children. Save me and save my children. Rabbi Najini wa Ali mimma yamalun. Rabbi Najini wa Ali mimma yamalun. Rabbi Najini wa Ali mimma yamalun. Ya Allah, save me, save my children. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu minaz zalimin. We prayed, and thankfully Allah sent, because all the signs around me, I was not interpreting it well. All the signs were with me. I wasn't interpreting it well. Then Allah sent somebody who is not a Muslim, who is not even somebody that you say carries church on her head, who is not, and utterly, Gina is a great personality. She does not like anybody to be cheated. She stands for truth and justice. She would defend you. She would defend your rights. She was like that. But she was not somebody you say is seeing vision. But she came to me and said, I have a message for you, Rafat, and I must deliver this message. Leave your husband's house. Otherwise, there will be consequences. And I left. Thank you so much. I'll be in the comment section to respond to all of you. I thank you all for the comments. Have a nice night. And please, before you lay your head to sleep, pray. Mothers, pray. When you intercede, God listens. Fathers, pray. pray, whatever happens between you and your wife, never leave your children. Never leave your children. Your children have nothing to do with it. Whatever happens, never leave your children. Stay with your children and pray. The things we are fighting are not ordinary. Thank you and good night.